Nice.
So
I know Call of Duty is not quite your game. So what do you think?
me?
Yeah, you. I already know Goldie's little.
I actually really like it because of the fact that it reminds me of the pace of PUBG. So I played PUBG before I played Realm for a long time and really enjoyed it. But my concerns and issues with PUBG, as we all know, was just optimization. Like, it was the optimization factor. And I think Call of Duty is that like nice fine line with like BRs between like the BRs we play, like Realm, and then like a PUBG, like the speed and everything. So I do really like it. It's pretty crazy. Like when you play the battle royale as Warzone, you drop, you go crazy, and then all of a sudden you look and you're like, wow, there's still ridiculous 100 plus people left. So it is long, but I kind of like that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 6 of Dads in Gaming. My name is Octane Pro, and joining me, as always, is my co-host Glock9 and Goldie. Good evening, gentlemen.
What up?
How's it going?
So gangster. Okay, so if you guys are just joining us for the first time, this is Dads in Gaming Podcast. We do this weekly as of now. This is week number 6. We've made it. This is a very casual, laid-back podcast that is recorded video and also audio. You can see some of the links down below for the audio podcast as well as on screen. So the way we like to open up each show is just kind of catching up with each other, seeing what's the latest and greatest since last week. So last week we started with Glock. Let's go ahead and start with Goldie this week. What's been going on with you? Work, content creation, dad life. What's the latest?
This week is very, very busy. We're leading into Bach Bowl, so on Saturday. So everybody in the house knows, leave daddy alone. This is
yeah.
This is time to focus.
What's Bach Bowl for people that don't know what it is?
Bach Bowl is a Xbox tournament that myself and my duo partner Whoop started a year ago. This is our 1-year anniversary.
Oh, did you buy him anything?
So no, we're gonna win this one.
Got it.
We have not won any Bach Bowls.
Okay.
But a successful Bach Bowl is always a win for me. It started off small and, just community driven, and we've become the largest console tournament. I mean, at one point we were the largest Realm tournament besides the Keemstar ones, but it's definitely turned into something that I never expected. So this week has just kind of been all about that, very focusing on Realm, focusing on, the promotion side of it. And cool. Like I said, everyone knows going into this week, leave daddy alone. He's got focus. Other than that, everyone's just trying to stay safe and go about our lives. Sure.
Cool. What about you, Glock?
Just honestly working, and I already filled you guys in on the news I got today. It's just I'm not gonna quite put out there yet, but other than that, literally just working and spending time with the family, and taking some freaking butt in Call of Duty.
Nice. So is that what you've been playing pretty much since last time we had a show?
Yeah. So I needed a day off from work, so I took the day off for no, really, I needed a day off from work, so I took the day off, and then I was like, well, win-win, so I was there at 8 a.m. my time as soon as it dropped, download the update, and me and my buddy got into a game right away, won the very first game we played. Oh,
did it take you a while for that update?
No, actually, okay. I was downloading it at 80 megabytes a second.
Oh, nice. Fantastic.
So everyone's like, it's taking forever. I'm just watching mine on stream. Just do.
It took me about an hour and a half on the Xbox.
Yeah. Oh wow, jeez.
No, it was a big update, but
I had BattleNet loaded already, like just sitting up there for the day, like while I was at work and stuff. So that was perfect. So that downloaded. But then I got word that when you get in game, then there's lots of all of that This stream is sponsored by G Fuel. I got a buddy of mine and told me that when you get into game, at the very top, you have all those like shaders that has to download and all that types of stuff that it's got to do. So I remoted into my computer from work and loaded up COD and let it just do all of that so that when I got home, I could hit the ground running.
Nice.
So
I know Call of Duty is not quite your game. So what do you think?
Me?
Yeah, you. I already know Goldie's little.
I actually really like it because of the fact that it reminds me of the pace of PUBG. So I played PUBG before I played Realm for a long time and really enjoyed it. But my concerns and issues with PUBG, as we all know, was just optimization. Like, it was the optimization factor. And I think Call of Duty is that like nice fine line with like BRs between like the BRs we play, like Realm, and then like a PUBG, like the speed and everything. So I do really like it. It's pretty crazy. Like when you play the battle royale as Warzone, you drop, you go crazy, and then all of a sudden you look and you're like, wow, there's still ridiculous 100+ people left. So it is long, but I kind of like that. It's one of the longer BRs that I've played. So I haven't played Plunder yet, but the best mechanic
Plunder is about a 45-minute game
Oh
mode.
my gosh.
I've only played that game mode one time and realized how long it takes, and I was like, yeah, I'm cool, dude. It's basically just whoever can collect the most money, and it's like, I want to say it's first team to 1 million, and like I think my only one I played was like 45 minutes, and I actually left. So
they made the Warzone very streamable, which I think a lot of games are like going that direction nowadays. Like, it's very streamable from like when you drop in to one, let's just say right now, the optimization of the game, which makes it so much easier now to stream versus when COD first came out and I tried to stream it and had issues with it. But the second thing is the mechanic and features of that mode with like you're going to the gulag and you're 1v1ing people and then being able to revive people. It's just, there's all these mechanics in it that make it so streamable and make it easy for us as content creators.
That's all right. I want to hear Goldie's complaint, and I'm going to rebuttal on him.
All right. So,
by the way, Call of Duty wasn't even in our notes, and we're just going off. So why not? Why not? Go with it.
So, well, this is what I was saying with Glock the other day. There's a lot of really, really, really good things about the game and like features and mechanics. You know, I absolutely love that when you in the waiting lobby, you're playing a round of COD. Like you know, I think that's great instead of just sitting on an island or a loading screen. Or whatever. I think that's a really, really good job. The gulag is absolutely amazing.
It's money.
Yeah, that is huge. Beautiful. It's a beautiful game. It reminds me of like you said, PUBG. Just PUBG's graphics aren't as good, but like just the scale of it, or a Battlefront, or Battlefield. I'm sorry, Battlefield.
I know where this is going now. I just thought about it. I know where this is going.
The issue is it plays like Call of Duty, and I hate Call of Duty. Like I just don't.
Oh, I thought I was going to hear the forced crossplay QQ.
No, I don't care about that.
Good for you.
I'll smack a PC.
Here you go.
I got no issue
That's
with
why
that.
he's making me play Xbox for Bach Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's why Bach Bowl is Xbox only.
But other than that, I mean, I think it's a good game. It's just it plays too much like Call of Duty, and I don't like Call of Duty. I just don't like the gunplay of it. You know.
The thing is, Call of Duty takes a little bit of skill when you're shooting a gun.
I find like
it's not Modern Warfare to me. Modern Warfare like Modern Warfare 4 or World at War. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, like the original, like before they started going into the 1, 2, 3, 4s. It was Call of Duty 4. I don't know if it might not have been Modern Warfare. It might not have been.
It was Call of Duty 4, and then World at War, and then
and then it started going into the Modern Warfares, and then those. So like those two were my favorite CODs, and I'll always love those, especially World at War.
Modern Warfare 2 is the best. I don't care.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, well, I definitely enjoyed it. I've only played one night so far of it. So I played. It's so interesting. So like, we can skip around. I don't really care what we cover, but I, as a content creator, because that's what all three of us are, it's so interesting because I can speak personally to me, and I'll let you guys talk a little bit. Have all three of you guys streamed it so far?
Yeah,
Yes.
I have.
Okay,
yeah.
so I go ahead, I load up Call of Duty, I kick off the stream, and maybe I kick off the stream, and right away I have 10 to 15 people. It's like normal, and then all of a sudden, after my first game, I'm down to like 3 viewers, and I learned very quickly that like I've put myself in a place, and this is a struggle for a lot of streamers where it was like, dang, like this sucks. So I actually killed the stream because I was like, there's you guys know there's effort when you stream. You can't just play the game. You're talking, you're entertaining, blah, blah, blah. So I killed the stream, but this was maybe after like an hour and a half. And then the next night, I go ahead and say, all right, I'm going to play Realm tonight. I just want a quick test. Do Realm. It's like 30 viewers instantly. And it's like here it is. Like here it is. It's like that. But I built my everything around it. It's like all my YouTube content's around it. All my tweets have been around the Realm community. That's what people have come to know me as. So it's really interesting. I'm interested to hear from you guys because you guys, I think, play a more variety than I do. I am the type of person that plays a game. I'm not going to lie. I play a game for 3 to 4 years before I even touch another game.
So I think your reasoning for that is because you're on Twitch. But
Yeah.
But no, for real, I do understand what you're saying, and I want to with you saying like you play a game for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
I've only owned one game at a time.
Yeah, that's exactly my play style.
I would own a game. That's the game I played. I'd play the crap out of that. A new game came out. I'd return that game to GameStop, get the new game, and play that one.
Okay.
And that's how I would do it. I never would own more than one game until oh God. Until now, where with the Xbox, everything gets downloaded. So I own multiple games now, and it's only because they're all downloaded. The last hard copy game I have is Battlefront 2 Star Wars. That was the last hard copy game I bought, and that's the only hard copy game I have. So I definitely agree with the goddamn GIF again.
I'm gonna load that. I'm gonna load that for next show. I'm gonna load that in your webcam, like in your webcam frame. Yeah, that's so interesting because that's such a console mentality. But like that's how I've been. Like literally, like I can tell you right now, like Realm. And before Realm, it was PUBG, and before PUBG, it was Paladins, and before Paladins, it was Smite, and before Smite, it was CSGO. Before that, it was StarCraft 2. Like that is like the last 10 years. Like there's been little ones here and there. Like, oh, I'll play that for a stream or that. But like but nothing that
major titles.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. What about you, Glock?
I was actually, if you guys saw my post about Realm the other day was so I first started streaming with CSGO, and you would average maybe like 5 viewers on that, and then I switched to Realm when I found Realm.
Yep.
And that's where my tweet came from, where I posted a clip, and my
I saw that.
And it was like, yeah, you see, like it had like the green heirloom rifle and stuff like that.
Yep.
And it said, I think I found my game. Realm Royale is dope.
Then, I saw that.
And I was only at like 1 viewer, and then I remember I jumped on Blackout for Call of Duty, and like the whole time I played that, I literally had like 1 viewer, and then finally Realm Royale took off. And I mean, Realm for me got to the point where I was actually getting like, almost averaging partner numbers for Twitch. And,
fantastic!
Like I was getting up there. I didn't really pay attention to numbers, but then once I seen that we're almost there, I started kind of watching it.
Sure.
But like as soon as I'm gonna take a break from Realm today, I'm gonna play this. Like you said, I would go from like 75, 80 viewers to like 20. And it's like people go there to see you play that one game. Yeah. Where I make it a point to like I always say like I get it, people only want to watch you play that one game, this and that. But now it's like I'm on Mixer. I moved to Mixer for multiple reasons. I don't want to get into that whole story, but the one thing I have noticed about the people that have come over from Twitch to Mixer is it doesn't matter what I play right now. I'm gonna hold the same viewership. Depends on you know. Of course, I get the little boost when I get like a host from Goldie or you know some other people, but my average viewership is the same no matter if I play Call of Duty, if I
That's
play
awesome.
Paladins, Realm. You know, you see like there's people. The people are more there for you than it is the game.
Yep.
You know, which I like. You know, and the chat's always moving and.
Yep.
So it's you know, it was nice and refreshing when on Twitch. It's like I started playing Paladins and dude, I had like nobody in there. Like, this is basically Realm Royale. What?
Yeah,
I used to
Realm.
Right. I used to see that a lot when I first started streaming, and when I first started streaming, I was playing Fortnite. So I would be playing that, and then on nights where I like when Realm first started coming out, and I really wanted to start playing that, that's where I would see a huge dip. Like go from 15 viewers to 2, but then the more I started playing Realm, that started rising.
Yeah,
and now I load up Realm. I'm sitting at between 40 and 60 viewers. I load up Modern Warfare, whatever the hell this is.
Get it right.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. I load up that, and I'm still sitting around those numbers.
Oh wow.
I'll dip a little bit if I start with a different game. But like if I started with say Warzone, I probably would get to maybe an average of 35, 45. I start with Realm, I'm gonna boost up.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It'll drop down, and once I switch games, because there is people there that only want to see that game.
Yeah.
But that's I'm still it's just still in the same area, and I thoroughly believe it's because the community on Mixer. They're not so, and there's nothing wrong. Like I know there's everyone argues over Twitch and Mixer and viewerships and all that.
Sure.
But I feel people on Twitch, the casual viewer on Twitch is there to watch
the game.
A specific game.
Yeah.
I'm here for a game. If you're not playing that game, I'm gonna go watch that is playing. Mixer is more of I'm here for the streamer. Whatever you're playing, I'm here. I'm hanging out, because Mixer's a little bit more interactive with the viewer.
Sure.
There's more things for the viewer to do than there is on Twitch.
I think a lot. It's interesting you say that, because when I look back at like recently what Mixer has done over the last 12 months with partnering with these big content creators and streamers and moving them over to their platform, people are doing that for the streamer, not for the game they play. Like some of the people that are over there. So that is I think a very true statement, where it's with the Shroud or a Ninja or something like that. Like people come over for them, and I think that's a good reflection there. So cool. Well, no, good. So other than that, we are we kind of went off topic, but that's okay. We go wherever we go. It's the whole point of the show. Yep.
Off topic.
Yep. Whatever. So in the next, we have 4 episodes left till we hit episode 10, which is kind of like our first milestone. One of the things that we wanted to do when we did hit that was actually get a legit like logo made. Right now we just kind of been floating by using whatever, so we're gonna keep on pushing towards that, get that made, get some things and adjustments, changes, which will be nice. We have some good ideas coming up, like for some episodes, which is exciting around that. Goldie's been busy, but any thoughts on any other platforms? Have you switched over, tried like what is the other one? Begins with an S to try to get us on what is it?
iTunes.
Not iTunes. Well, you were talking about iTunes, but there's another one out there. Begins with an S. What am I thinking?
I don't know.
Stitcher? No, it's not Stitcher, is it? No, what is it?
Stitcher.
SoundCloud. SoundCloud's another big one. Alexa's another big one. Google Play Store is another big one. Stuff like that. So, where are you putting your focus in the next week? Bachbowl?
That's
fine.
this weekend, not next week.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's next week. Like I said,
Like I said
to my wife, I'm dealing with right now. I will deal with next week.
I want to know what's gonna happen when a PC player comes on the Xbox and wins the ball.
Bam! So I have a comment for that. Okay, so
I'll let you know when it happens.
Hey, Octane, did I tell you my team name?
No, I want to hear it.
It's aim assist for the win.
Oh my god! I would have done aim assist for noobs, but so several years.
I already said I'm not even using any class weapons. I'm going straight AR burst rifle.
Oh,
That's all you need.
I heard the burst rifle. I heard the burst rifle on console is like the slug rifle on PC.
Oh, dude, I don't even touch a slug or a revolver. I don't even want them. I want an SMG. I want a burst rifle, AR. That's it. Easy class.
The AR burst on console.
So
right now the stone staff is.
Several years ago at HRX, there was a PC player who was a pro PC player that his team got knocked out early, and he was also on an Xbox team. So he moved from PC to Xbox. So he won money on PC. Then he went with his team on Xbox, a different, like, same team on the Xbox side through the open bracket and won the Xbox. Yes. Yeah. With Smite. So yeah, it was funny. Okay, cool. So other than that, let's go ahead and jump into the show. Our title of today's show was what we went with, was Who Is Your Daddy and What Does He Do? And
Whoa.
Okay.
If you're gonna say it right.
Okay. How's it go?
Go ahead.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Thank you. So, yeah, that was fantastic. Thanks for sharing with the group there. Jumping into it a little bit, I thought a good kind of starting off point would be, what does your wife think of what you do? Good, bad, ugly.
Is this a preview to our conversation about maybe having our wives do a show?
No, this is just kind of, So who wants to take it first? Who's on it?
I could do it because my wife used to hate streaming.
Okay.
And my wife, because I mean, like I said, I started off with a 15 FPS camera and really, really bad quality, and
yep.
I am all about quality, and I was spending way more money than my $0 a month. And then she just she hated it. It was like, you're spending all this money and this and that, and then she started seeing. I think she started like creeping on like my Instagram and
creeping. Your wife creeping?
No, she does. She's like a Facebook stalker and stuff like that. So she like started seeing like growth and like how many followers and likes, and she was stopping my stream every once in a while. And then she started seeing like the numbers going up, and then she started seeing that I wasn't spending money from the regular bank account. I was spending money from what I was making on Twitch to upgrade all my stuff.
Yeah.
And then she started seeing okay, wow, he's actually gaining kind of a following. So it turned from okay, you start at 8 o'clock at night when the kids go to bed to like randomly she'll be like at 5 o'clock, you want to start early, honey? You can go ahead and start early.
Oh, wow.
All of a sudden.
Wow. Okay.
And then but it wasn't until HRX when and I think I said something before, but it's still really weird to even talk about like how I had that one girl come to me and ask for a picture, like an autograph. I'm like, well, what the heck? But it was, I explained that to her and stuff like that. Like, that was really surreal. It was weird. And like people wanted to meet you. It's like, it was kind of motivating. And then now she's all for it. She's like, go ahead, go ahead, do it.
Yeah, it's almost like it sounds like it had to build up to the point of like recognition because you didn't really understand it.
Yeah, because for the longest time, she remembers when I was playing Blackout, and she goes, "How many viewers you had tonight? Just my mod, just my mod."
Nice.
I had one guy come in and tell me I suck, and then he left.
That's normal. Talk about trolling. Hey, I got 2 viewers.
Yes.
What about you, Goldie? I know yours is a little bit different because of your situation of, you're a stay-at-home dad, but at the same time, you've kind of made your own brand and business out of it. So there is actually some legs to it.
Yeah. At first, my wife has always been supportive with it, like hands down. She's never had an issue with it. But I think at first she was kind of like, he's just playing. He's just playing a game. It's keeping him occupied. It's giving him something to do, so I'm not getting bored. When I first applied for partner on Mixer, I was not really prepared. Like Locke said, my quality wasn't really great. I was still streaming from the Xbox. I had a little laptop next to me. My screen was my 65-inch TV that I was playing on. My my desk was a coffee table that turned like it flips up to a snack table.
Oh,
Yeah,
fancy.
And I was
It's like the Cadillac.
and I was sitting in a camping chair.
Okay.
So
you typical basement nerd.
yes, that's exactly what it was.
Yep.
And so I applied for partner. They denied me. Not just because of my quality, for other reasons.
Sure, absolutely.
But she then came to me and said, "Is this something you really want to do? You know, do you really want to do this?" And I said, "Yes." She's like, "Well, I'm going to make an investment into you."
Were you working at that time, or were you staying at home?
No, I was still home. Yeah,
okay.
And you know, it was, you know, do you want to continue doing this as a hobby, or do you really, really want to, you know, push yourself and turn this in and get partner? Because when I got denied, I was upset. It was, you know, it was upsetting, even though I you know, I understood why. She made an investment and we got all equipment. You know, I'm now I'm going from 165-inch monitor to 5 28-inch monitors, a laptop,
nice
gaming chair. I'm no longer sitting in a camping chair. You know, so she really, you know, believed in me, wanted me to do this. She, you know, she made the investment, and you know, 4 months later, I ended up applying again. I got partnered, and she's been behind me 100%.
That's awesome.
The rest of my family,
yeah, sure,
not so much, but she's been there.
I was gonna say we're probably gonna get into that in a second.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, it's so interesting. So from my perspective, I met my wife the second week in college, and we started dating like a week later. As a freshman. So for me, you know, she met me.
Girl.
I know, absolutely, 100%. She met me as like gaming. You know, it wasn't like something I picked up later. So
college gaming nerd.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and that was when I play that was when Halo 1 came.
Halo days.
Halo 1.
Throw this out there. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
I had an Xbox. Halo 1 was the game, and our campus had set up that the LAN was the entire campus. So we did capture the flag tournaments in our entire dorm. It was the best. It was so cool. But moving on from there, though, I didn't get into streaming. My first streaming was on Justin TV, and it was when we moved into our townhouse when we were first married. And it wasn't too bad because then when you have no kids, you have so much more time available to you. So like I had so much more time. The house wasn't always dirty. It was like perfect. It was like when you left for work and you came home, wow, the house looks identical to the way I left it. Versus as a married guy with 3 kids, that is not the case. You don't know what you're coming home to. So then there was more time available, and I would stream at night type of deal, and that was when I was doing a lot of Smite content of like shows for high res and stuff like that. And so like I was casting some tournaments and stuff, so there was definitely some time being taken away. And my wife, it wasn't her favorite, but like I could be doing other things that were far worse as like an addiction, you could say. So it was there. But I think, you know, my wife and I have been married 10 years, and I would say over the 10 years, my wife and I have had plenty of conversations where it was like sit down one-on-one, and it was like, you're spending too much time gaming or too much. I know it was more like streaming or gaming, like because it was my personality. The things I get into are very addictive. Like when I do something, I always want to be the best at it. And it's like, okay, I'm streaming Smite part-time, but I'm competing with streamers that are full-time. So when she would go to
put that extra mile in.
Correct. I'd go to work and then come home and put 8 hours in. And it was like, you can't do that. And so over our marriage and over 10 years of everything going on, it's gotten to a point where I have firmly recognized like, hey, if I can stream 3 hours a night, it's a home run for me. Like awesome. Good. But if I can't stream tonight, I'm not losing anything. It's not an income like it is for you. It is there's no income lost to me. Like I tell my stream, I'm like, don't sub to me, just follow. Like I don't need subscribers. Subscribers are nice. You get the extra cash, great. You want to buy an extra piece of hardware, awesome. But the follows there. So my wife's thought on the entire experience, I would say, is always been negative from that experience. Like I do LAN parties with the guys I went to college with. So we've been doing LAN parties every 3 months for 12 years now, where we get together and just play games. And it's like, she kind of despises those, but at the same time, she started to understand that like, it's a weekend away from my wife, my kids' responsibility to eat fat kid food, drink beer, and hang out with guys.
Go away from my inbox.
And I was like, there is far worse things I could be doing. You know what I
Better
mean?
be a gamer than a gangbanger.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, so that's the perspective there.
Right. I mean, and as long as your significant other, whether it be a wife or husband, depending on who you are listening to this, in my mind, if they are your significant other, whether you're married or not,
sure,
they should be supporting you in something that you want to do or a passion you have, whether they agree with it or not, or like it or not.
Yeah.
So I've heard people come to me and say, how do you get your wife to be on board or support you?
Sure.
She supports me because she's my wife. Like, what do you mean support you? Like, your significant other should be supporting you no matter what.
I think it's within limits there, though. So like, there's a limit, and I think we all recognize that, because you could be like, my wife doesn't support me because I want to play games 12 hours a day.
Yes.
You know, like,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Or if you want to take it to the extreme, my wife doesn't support me because I want to go out and do drugs all day or be a gangbanger, like
anything.
Like,
anything.
There's there is limits to there is limits to that. But if you go to your wife and say, hey, this is a passion that I've had before I met you, which you should already know that, or even if it's not, and like, hey, this is something I want to do, I want to try, like, as long as you're doing your responsibilities, she should be able to, support you in that. Now, going back to what you said, you start doing it excessively, 12 hours a day after working an 8-hour day, with a total of 2-hour commuting. Like, okay, like if you're pulling yourself away from the family, then you might have to. If she's not supporting, then you might have to like reassess what you're doing. But it bothers me when people come to me and say, I don't understand how you support you, but your wife should be supporting you.
I think for you too, the fact is like this is just like you talked about earlier, like this is your business. So like, and she has recognized that, and once that happens, it makes it much easier. I think too, because I think you kind of talked about it, but you defined it for something that like she understands. Versus, I think in other people's situation, it's like the wife or significant other doesn't really understand. It's just like, oh, he's going to game. He's going away to do something away from me type of deal. Versus like, you're putting in your labor, you're putting in your time. So no, I think that's good. I think on that note, I think it's a good one to jump into on your kids. So on the flip side of it, Glock, what do your kids think of what you do? Do they actually understand like this is what you're doing, or does it just look like daddy's playing video games again?
Yeah, so it looks like daddy's playing video games again. Also, it usually goes, I usually, stream when they go to sleep. But my little smart ass son decides to be like, well, how come I have to go to bed? You're going to go play video games. He doesn't understand that I'm 28 years old. You're 5, right? So he uses it as an excuse. Like earlier, like I told you, he has that Lego Star Wars game. And as soon as I get home from work, he goes, can I play my game? And I'm like, hello, son. How was your day? My day was good. Thanks for asking. It's like, and then he goes, well, can I play my game? Because you're going to play yours later. That's not how this works. But they don't understand. He asked me, he goes, are you going to stream? He doesn't quite understand it. I think because you've seen them. I think last week they were on the show.
When you jumped on.
Like he understands that like someone's watching, like, but he doesn't understand like really like what it is.
So my son, it's interesting. When my son, even younger, like he's 7 now, but I would say when he's 4, he was very big into Pokemon Go, and like that's what him and I found to play together. So like we'd go out, we'd play Pokemon Go together, and I would record that. So on my YouTube channel, there's actually like a 10 to 12 different video series on like him and I playing Pokemon Go together, and like recording the screen and all that types of stuff. Well, me taking it from there and then uploading it to YouTube, and him seeing the fact of like what that is, like, oh wow, like I can watch it there. That slowly transitioned into him coming on stream with me, and so he and he likes to watch like YouTube Kids watch other people like play Minecraft and talk through it. So he understands how that is. So he'll come on my stream and like he naturally clicks in, like he's in streamer mode. He's talking with chat. He's laughing. He's telling the chat what he's doing as he's doing it, type of deal. Which was so funny because like the other day, him and I were playing Realm together, and I got up. I was like, "Hey, I gotta go get a drink," and I was like, "Entertain the chat." And he'd sit there and talk with people. What's your favorite Pokemon? All this type. It's so funny. So like he understands the concept of streaming, but kind of like what you had said, like when they're tired or he's frustrated, with like we're capping X amount of time. Hey, you had enough time today, buddy. Like you're good. I'll get you're gonna go play games tonight. Like, aren't you gonna go play games? And like, how long are you gonna play for? And it's like that constant thing. And like I've had to explain.
How it works, dude.
I've had to explain to him like, hey, and it's hard for like a 7-year-old to explain like, hey, the reason that you're limited is because you still have so many life experiences that I want you to experience. And they don't understand that. They're 7. But it's like, and so like you spending 6 hours a day on a phone or tablet or screen, it's like there's so many things that you're not doing. That your imagination or going outside and playing with friends or doing homework or doing XYZ, where it's like daddy's had his day's worth of experience. Like now it's ready to
Daddy's turn.
It is how I detach myself from life. It's like
that's what I
get away
said.
from it.
That's what gaming always was for me, where it's like you game, you have fun, and you just ignore whatever's going on, IRL.
What about you, Goldie, with your kids?
So my kids, when I first started streaming, they were my oldest was 3.5, or maybe 4.
Okay.
3.5. So that's all he's really knows and sees is me playing games and talking to chat, and
that's most of your day, right? Because I stream during
the day. So and when I first started streaming summer, and they were home, so they were playing with me, so he's gotten now, like even on the weekends, I'll be playing and I'll have everything set up and he thinks I'm streaming. He doesn't know like if I'm off or on.
Okay.
So like the other day we were playing Realm together and I wasn't streaming it, and he just looks over and he's like, "Did you see that, chat? Did you see that?"
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Like,
yeah, that's right.
So like
somebody clip that in chat.
He knows that people are there. One of the things I love the most is he hears like my community members that are always in chat. If I'm always saying the same names,
okay,
he knows those names. He doesn't know how to differentiate them. So like he'll just be like, we'll be playing, and for instance, Vogs. Like Vogs won't be there, but he'll be like, I'll be talking. He's like, "Oh, tell Vogs, like, did you see that? Did you see me just kill that guy?" And like, or Vogs, come play. That's one of the things that drives me crazy when he says that. And sometimes I gotta like nudge him.
Oh man,
he'll just be like, "Oh guys, come play with us. Come on." And I'm like, "Play with anybody right now."
Well, it's so funny because my son just took off with like reading. Like he was struggling for a while, but now he reads everything. So the one thing I have to be careful of is like if he is like this past, like I don't usually stream during the day ever. Like I have too much going on like one, I'm at work all day, but then on the weekends it's all family time and project time and stuff. So the other this past weekend I did have an opportunity for like an hour and a half to stream. And I had my son wanted to stream. I was like, I'm spending time with my son, so he wants to stream. We're going to stream, play games. The downside is now he's in a mode where like I kind of have to watch what's talked about in chat and control that a little bit better because he is there and he is reading that stuff. So that's like the one thing where it's like,
you got to be careful with that.
Like got to be careful. And like, cause I'm very strict with like, Minecraft has the ability that has like the audios on whatever. So like you can go in the parental mode and turn that off. So like he's not talking with other people. Cause that was like the first time, that was like Realm. We jumped into Realm squads for the first time ever. And I didn't know that like mics are on. And all of a sudden I'm like, who the hell is that talking? I'm like, nope, we're turning that off. No, but at the other end of the day, I'm like, wow, that probably could have been me, like saying this thing.
I did have to have a conversation with him because he was telling his teacher that I just play video games all day.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. If you want to get into more,
I
have a good one without those.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just going around telling everybody that what does your dad do? Who is your daddy and what does he do? He plays video games all day. Like,
yep.
Dude, like, like I guess you're not wrong, but like there's other things to that.
Sure.
So he understands that now. What's really cool though is hearing him like when he's talking with his friends or
Okay.
with my nephews or whatever, and he's like, do you have a YouTube channel? Oh well, my dad has YouTube channel.
There you go.
Like
There
that.
you go.
Like it's like, all right, yeah, man, myself a little promo. Go out, spread the word.
Give the boy some business cards to hand out.
I just ordered business cards.
I heard.
My kid.
I saw that. I was like, ooh, fancy.
So yeah, but we did have to have a conversation with him. Like, dude, you got to be careful the way you're saying it. Like,
Yeah. Yep. What about you, Glock? You said you had a story about that?
I was gonna say, so in 6th grade, my dad always had 2 jobs growing up. He was
Okay.
he was a pest control guy, and during the day, and at night he worked at an adult bookstore.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's when they were big. Yep.
Yeah, and now he's to this day he owns an adult bookstore.
Oh, does he?
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, so that he took over that store. But when I was a kid, we didn't care about the pest control.
Of course not.
So I took it out on my opportunity, 6th grade. You're meeting your class. It was what's your name, what's your hobbies, what do your parents do?
Oh, nice.
I stood up and go, I'm Steven Anderson. I like baseball. My mom answers phones, and my dad owns a porn store. And I got sent to the principal's office, and they called my dad on speakerphone saying, "Yeah, your son said you work at a porn store. That would be funny." I do. That's all I remember is him whispering, I do.
I'm
also a
surprised.
pest control guy.
I'm surprised they're still around with just like the internet and everything like that. Now.
Yeah, I kind of. We can get into that whole conversation. He
Okay.
makes just enough to get by, but
Yep.
You don't sell too many movies nowadays. Is all the other
No,
stuff.
no, absolutely. All right, well, cool. So from there, we'll kind of roll this in here, and we're kind of running out of time. So, how do you explain it to friends or parents that
Friends are easy.
that aren't in your circle? So what I mean by that is like all the land guys that I'm friends with know I stream, they stop into stream, stuff like that. But you have different groups of friends and stuff like that. How do you explain what you do to them or a parent or someone like that?
I feel like friends are a little bit easier. They they especially my friends are a little bit younger, so they kind of understand what it is. But to this day, I'm still trying to explain to my dad what it is and what you do. And the easiest way to put it, honestly, is whether you're the most insane player ever or just an entertainer, you're basically the easiest way to say it is you're an entertainer. Either I try to entertain you with gameplay, or I try to entertain you with my personality, or sometimes they go hand in hand with like the other day, one of my very first drops into Call of Duty was, "Oh, cut the parachute, it'll redeploy by itself." Yeah, great.
Smash.
But basically, you tell people you're an entertainer, and then my dad asks, "Well, why would somebody want to watch you?" I think about one of the best things, even though no, I'm not one of the best players in the world, but the way Ninja said it was perfect. Why don't you go play football on Sunday rather than watching the NFL?
Yeah,
you want to watch people that are better than you. Or just for the entertainment purposes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I explain it to him. Then he gets into the whole thing. Well, how do you get paid? It's like, well, you got subscriptions, donations, and with donations, the main thing with donations are usually like challenges. Like, hey, if you win this next game with this many kills, I'll donate $20 or whatever. Subscription, you get emotes, and you get that whole thing. Yeah. I don't get it.
Boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah.
What about you?
I have to agree with Glock. Like friends are a little bit easier, especially if they're around, the same age as you, or have done things or know what Mixer is, know what Twitch is. It is an easier thing to explain to them. Family wise, parent wise, like my in-laws, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law is like, it's tough. Like they understand that, yeah, I'm running a business, or and I'm in the entertainment business, but they just don't understand the aspects of it. And trying to explain it to them is like when my sister-in-law tries to explain to me about her, her hair salon. Like you're talking another language. I don't understand what you mean. So it's hard to get that stuff across. My dad and my stepmom. My dad will sit there and listen to me for hours talk about it, just smiling and nodding, and not have any idea what's being said. My stepmom I love her to death. She's been my stepmom since I was 4 years old.
Oh wow, okay.
She's a little bit more on the, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
She's become more understanding now since she sees where I've gone. But when I first started talking about this and saying what was going on, she was having private conversations with my wife, like, you're allowing this? What is going on here? What are we doing? Get him on the right path. And that's definitely been the challenge, but as of recently, she's starting to come around. But it definitely is harder the older generation to explain to them.
We talked about the other week about the fact of like how this norm of entertainment and live streaming almost will skip. So from our parents' generation skips our generation, but the next, like our kids' generation, it will be a norm. That's all they've known is live streaming through Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Mixer. Like that's a norm because that's how they've received their content, is that method, And I think the other thing is the same thing of like when you're talking with parents or friends that are completely not in that industry or understand it. It's very similar to like what we talked about, like the Todd Harris clip too. It's like when you're trying to explain it in a sports analogy. And that's like the best thing you could do. It's the closest thing you could do is use that. And with the same thing that Glock had said with like an entertainment analogy, it's the same thing. It's like trying to explain that. Like, wait, people like, I remember, like you go back like even 2-3 years ago and just trying to explain like, wait, so people watch you play video? Why? And it's like, right. And then you got to rope that in. It's like, okay, why do you go watch a professional football game? Right. Well, because it's entertaining. Great, perfect. And they're the best in the world. Okay, great, perfect. So it's entertaining. So you're going for that. Or, oh, they're the best. It's the same thing. And it's like, that's, that's, you get in the esports conversation. It's like, well, that's not a sport. It's like, yeah, but you say that now because your generation knows traditional sports. But look at some of your look at chess or look at racquetball or whatever, or curling. It's like you say that's not a sport. It's just not a popular traditional sport. But look at everything. I remember it was like 5 years ago, or maybe more. It was with MLG when they got MLG Call of Duty at the Olympics. It was considered an Olympic game. I remember that. There's like this 1 year it occurred, and I remember just like there was so much uncertainty there, and so much. This was before even like esports like discussion. It was like unheard of. And I just remember talking with so many other people that just weren't into gaming, and they just couldn't grasp that concept. Why is video games at my Olympics? Was like the thing I heard type of deal. So
why is it figure skating? Jeez.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I think it's interesting because now that I've seen and been a part of like esports and gaming entertainment more and more, like I can look at other live events and I can understand the appeal for it. When it's like there's a market, there's a group for that watches that. I mean, look at all of the ASMR like stuff that you see on these different platforms. It's like, holy cow, like people watch that stuff, or like the different live stream events that people watch. It just blows my mind.
Did you ever play in any Counter-Strike tournaments?
I don't think I did. I think I did like I think
I analogies. One of the analogies.
I got a baby crying. I'll be right back.
Daddy duties. I was gonna say one of the analogies that I always go to because I used to do like ESEA, like and stuff like that.
Yep. SIVO. Yep.
Yeah. One of the things I always say is you talk about playoff games with MLB bottom of the ninth, runner on second, and it's like how sweaty and intense of a moment that is. I'm all like, do you know what it's like going into a 14 round? You're the last one left in like a 1v1 or a 2v1 in that situation. It's all on your shoulders.
Yep.
That is even just watching that in pro tournaments, it's like that is such an intense moment and it's such an amazing thing to watch. I'm like, you just don't understand the game and like.
But I think that's because you can connect with it because you've played the game, you've had that experience, and you've been in those situations. That's why I think it's more impactful.
But at the same time, it's like, have you been a Major League Baseball player in the playoffs, bottom of the ninth? No, but you can relate. You know how that's your team. I can't explain it to people like how big of sports fans you are. In esports, it's like it's the same thing. It's essentially the same thing.
Yep.
With how intense we get into it. It's it's I don't know the right word for the feeling. It's just very, very like nerve-wracking.
Yep, you got the adrenaline going, the nerves are going. You're trying to control a mouse and keep accuracy.
This is sponsored by Gamer Goo for sweaty hands. Okay.
Man, this
Hey,
guy's
have you
got
tried
all
this
the
at all?
product. I haven't. I have not. No,
Okay.
but
This is more for console gamers, but it's an anti-sweat. I'm
I
sorry
don't.
we're getting into this,
But see, it's
this
so
is-
funny. My hands don't sweat when I game.
See, sometimes it
They get
depends on,
cold.
like, what I'm doing. Sometimes my hands do sweat, like, and you just put like a little pea size on there. You rub it in your hands. It's absolutely.
Well,
More for console gamers though.
Okay.
Goldie, did you ever try the Gamer Goo?
I have not tried Gamer Goo.
Do you get sweaty hands when you play?
No.
This is the conversation he comes back to.
I don't want to go into a promo here, but I have other reasons why I don't get sweaty hands.
Oh,
I don't know if I can self-promote stuff, so we'll hold that off.
all right.
Never mind, I don't want to know.
All right, so
Harry
let's
Palms.
jump in. Let's jump in here. Let's jump in here. The last part of the show. We started. I thought it'd be fun to start discussing either questions that the community has for us, or tweets or comments that people have reached out there. So I'll let Goldie go ahead and kind of read through some of these, and if it warrants a reaction or discussion, we can jump on it.
You were supposed to pick these. All right.
Well, my name's mentioned in one. I'll read that one.
Go for it.
I say time for Havoc said another fantastic episode with a great topic. I love Glock's point on depression and speaking to your kids more. I'm a chill dad when it comes to gaming. I think it's because I've seen the benefits I've gained from it. I'm extremely technical, smart, and I think with today's age, having strong technology knowledge is important. I absolutely agree with that. And I was going to say the point we made on depression, we will get into that deeper in a future episode.
Yeah.
I like it.
But I 100% agree with what he said about kids being stronger with knowledge and technology. That is actually very important nowadays.
Then that came from, if we didn't say, time for Havoc.
Havoc.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
One of my favorite is Deathmatch TV. Oh my God, it's De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci of gaming.
I like it.
I like it. Who's who?
I asked him that. He never answered me.
I like it. Cool. We got some other ones in here. Jolly Rancher comes out. Love this podcast. Keep up the good work. So appreciate that. Jordan Reed, these three handsome dudes gave me some good laughs. So that is awesome. We got another one here from Cheesy Bill, 1010 quality. Listened to the entire thing while I was playing. I need more. And then I think I'll let Goldie take the last one there.
It's JV2. Great work, guys. I see the podcast taking all of you to new heights, which you all deserve. Honestly, nice to just chill out and watch you guys talk about relatable things. All of you are so down to earth. Emoji heart.
Yeah, I heard that one. I had someone else hit me up in my chat, and that was a really interesting one where kind of we got the person that commented on the fact of like a lot of the topics that we're talking about are relatable. I saw that as well, and also just the fact of like he said, "Oh yeah, I listened to it on my way to work. Like I look forward to that dropping each week." And it was like, it was so interesting because it's like people listen to us for an hour.
I have a buddy at work that he always asks me if the video is dropped on YouTube or Spotify yet. And so he'll be like working a station behind me and he's listening to it and he'll look at me and go, uh-huh.
You're like, what? You're like,
I'm like, okay.
What did I say?
No, and then he'll come and discuss the show with me and like what he agreed on, what he didn't agree on, like the whole ninja thing. He had a different standpoint on that whole thing.
Oh, nice.
I love seeing the screenshots on Twitter and people like showing us they're listening to it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome.
Yeah, so I think that's a good one here. So I'll push the community to leave your comments, good, bad, and ugly, on any of the platforms we're on. And also, like, we'll shout it out there. Like, please, like, as Glock said, take a screenshot, tweet at us on it. We'd love to see, where you're listening. So how about that? How about we go ahead and say to the community, next time you're listening to the show, take out your smartphone and take a picture of what you're doing at that moment. If it's driving, just be safe. But if you're at work, you're at home, you're enjoying a cup of coffee, you're relaxing. Like what are you doing? Are you sitting watching your kids while you're listening to us? I think that would be really cool for us to see your experience. Where are we being injected into your life?
Right. I was gonna say, we say leave a comment. You can leave a comment on the video leave feedback on the Twitter. In my Discord, I have my own separate section for feedback and questions. But when you said the good, the bad, we did have that one comment from a couple weeks ago where there was a misunderstanding.
Oh yeah.
I replied back to him. I welcome the negative feedback. If there was a misunderstanding or something you didn't like, there's only it helps us learn. Like what was said wasn't bad. It was just we didn't go into detail, so it was taken the wrong way.
Sure.
But we would have never known that someone felt that way if you didn't leave a comment.
Right, exactly. So bad comments are good comments.
Yeah. So I also kind of had a private conversation with the person too. So we're all good. But it that absolutely helped us make sure that we clarify what we're talking about at the time. So
talking about negative comments this past week, I blocked KDN on Reddit. I had to. I had to block him. I forget what it was. I posted something. What's that? Yeah, I saw your threads. It was awesome. But like,
I made it.
It was
out of here, dude.
Because the word. Okay, so if you post something on Reddit and like as we talked about, this individual is on there all day long. Like, if you don't like Realm Royale, why you subscribe? But you post something and he's like the first person. He'll jump on, downvote it, and then negatively comment it. It's like the next person that comes across that, one, is going to see it's downvoted, and two, is going to see a negative comment. It's going to deter people away from it. And I was just like I can't do it. Like I am not, because this was after you guys got into it, and I was like, I'm just blocking and moving on. Like moving on.
I finally got him to start trolling me, and it was like, look, Ma, I made it. I made it.
Well, my thing with the guy, what was starting to irritate me is, it's one thing if you want to clown, you want to troll, don't lie.
Yeah.
Like, he started lying and saying he got banned from my chat because he killed me twice. No, you killed me twice. That is true. I was like, you were using the broken pincushion, Hunter, and you were third party twice. I was like, but I told the actual situation, and he wants to keep going like, oh yeah, I've killed every Realm Royale streamer, including Glock 9 twice. I don't give a crap if you killed me twice or not. No one even knows who you are.
Dude, I went up against Nas last night. Have you guys been stream sniped by Nas?
Yes.
Oh God, I swear that. I know. I swear he aim bots. I swear to God, he has to. Anyways, let's roll it back in. So, I think that's a good, like, based off of where we ended off with the comments, and encouraging you guys to take pictures of where you're watching, and feel free to tag any of us. Tag the Twitter. So, like, the main spot, if you're gonna tag anything, because it'll just get retweeted by us. So tag the @DadsandGaming if you're watching on YouTube. It's directly below my portrait there. The fun little Twitter bird there with the glasses. But other than that, our plan is to hit up episode 7 next week. We're kind of sticking to every Thursday, which is fantastic. I was a little skeptical on weekly, but we seem to be still filling content. We're at 57 minutes as of now, which is awesome.
We have so many topics coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've had, and if you have ideas or you want to hear a topic, definitely, leave the comments either on YouTube or at the Twitter. We had a great suggestion by It's Your Boy Q. What's funny is we were already kind of talking about that, and 2 days later he throws that suggestion out there. So and that's that's like literally 2 days before. As soon as I saw it, I got so excited. I'm like, see, I told you, look. So but yeah, definitely if you have an idea or you want to hear something, just reach out to us, let us know, and we need the content, and we have a lot of content, so I'm excited for this, and especially because we're coming up on episode 10, which is our first milestone.
Excellent. All right, guys. So listen here. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit subscribe. Click the bell to be notified every time that one of us goes ahead and drops a video. Give it a lovely thumbs up. And as we talked about, comment. If you're watching on Spotify, please go ahead and I can't remember if Spotify has a rating portion in there, but if so, give us that great 5-star review. As I said before, we are on Spotify, we are on Podbeam. We're looking to get it on other platforms as well for the audio audience, so that if you favor one over the other, we're at least coming to you on your one of choice. Other than that, guys, you can follow all of us. Our handles are right up on the screen. They'll be down below for Glock 9, myself, and Goldie, for our YouTube, for our Twitch, for our Twitter, for our Mixer, for these guys. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week for episode 7. Thanks a lot, and take care.